How's it going, everybody? It's Stas here. So in this video, we're going to be breaking down the top stocks that I'm looking to buy heading into this week in the stock market. And I also want to talk about Microsoft potentially buying out TikTok. And I want to compare that to back when Facebook actually bought out Instagram in 2012 for about $1 billion. I think it was exactly $1 billion. We're going to break down some numbers regarding that and talk about and have some fun here and make some hypothetical situations about how much money and TikTok could be sold for. What's a better deal in terms of Microsoft buying TikTok, Facebook buying, Instagram, and we're also going to break down some earnings reports heading into this week, as well as in general here where my head is at and kind of what else I'm looking out for this week. So if you guys find value in this video, as always, hit that like button for me, consider subscribing to the channel, and check out all the free links down below in the description box if you want to join our Discord chat and our Facebook group. And if you want 2 free stocks from Webull valued up to $1,400, that is also linked down below. All you have to do is deposit $100 into your account, and that is where you get your 2 free stocks. So first and foremost, let's break down what happened last week, take a look at the futures very quickly, and then we'll jump into the meat and potatoes of this video. So the S&P 500 last week was pretty range bound, right? We were trading between 3,200 and about 3260, 3250, and then it really was in the past, or rather in the last 30 minutes, where we finally took off above that range and saw a big bullish move, right? We actually popped up to 3272. We took out all the highs from the whole week, and honestly, we are getting pretty close to that level that we were at back in the 20th, on the 20th of July to about the 23rd of July. So heading into the weekend, that was a very, very bullish move, right? And the futures at this point in terms of the S&P, they're actually down. They're down about 3 points. So they're not moving up, they're not gapping up, and they're not gapping down, meaning they're still around that same level. And honestly, for tomorrow, to get more direction on the market and get more kind of a confirmation on the market, I want to see whether or not A, we take out 3280, which again, we struggled there like about 10 days ago, or B, are we going to get rejected there? That would mean, hey, we might be going lower, and do we go back down and test 3250, break that, and maybe go back down to test 3200? That, again, would mean, hey, we might be going lower. So this is a very important spot on the S&P. That's kind of what I'm trying to get here, guys. We have to see if we take this level out, and if we do, that is when we might get back to levels around where we were pre-crisis, right? 3330, that's a big level of resistance. That is where we got rejected back on the 20th of January. 3390, that's another big level. That's right around the all-time high. All-time high was actually back in the middle of February. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm watching for in terms of the S&P. A couple of different levels there for this upcoming week, and honestly, for the next couple of weeks. Who knows when we're going to get to all-time highs. I think we will, and then maybe we see a sell-off after the election. That's a scenario here that I've been hearing a lot. We'll see what ends up happening there, but I'm thinking we hit all-time highs before the election in the next couple of months. Call me crazy, especially if we get more stimulus. Call me crazy, but I think that's what's happening. And let me know down below in the comments, what do you guys think about that? Am I crazy, or are you on the same page with me on that? And taking a look at, again, these futures, the S&P 500, the E-mini S&P 500 index futures, they're down about 2 points right now, down 0.05%, nothing crazy. NASDAQ's up 2 points, nothing crazy, and the Dow's actually down about $5, nothing crazy at all at that point. So we're not really getting any concise moves in these futures. It's pretty much flat at this point, and it could change overnight. I mean, it does that all the time. I mean, who knows? We could wake up tomorrow, futures could be down a ton. It really depends on kind of what's going on with these stimulus talks tomorrow. We'll get into that in a second here, and not much to talk about that, to be honest. I'm sure you guys see other channels that talk every day about the stimulus. That's kind of not what I want to focus on. This is a stock market channel, but we'll talk about it very quickly because it does end up affecting the stock market. And take a look here at gold. I mean, gold is ripping. It hit another high today, $2,009. It's at $2,000 now. And quick note on gold, guys, before we get deeper into the video, I'm noticing a divergence. Right? You're seeing this. We're hitting highs on gold in terms of the price, higher highs, higher lows, all that good stuff. We're just at an all-time high now. And we're seeing this move. The strength is actually, it's weakening. It's the move is not as strong based on this RSI. Take a look. We're making higher highs in terms of the price, but the RSI is making lower highs and lower lows. So as we're getting higher in gold's price, the move's actually becoming weaker. The volume's actually declining as well. And what this means is, this is a bearish divergence. What this means is, hey, we might be going lower. I mean, I'm not saying I'm bearish on gold by any means. I'm the opposite. I'm actually bullish on gold. As the dollar has been weakening, gold has been shooting up. Same with stocks. I mean, this is obvious. We all see it. And I'm thinking that we might see a pull down, but ultimately we're going to go higher from that pull down. And I think in general, gold needs a healthy pull down. Whether it rallies from here 2,000 to 2,100, then back down to 2,000, it consolidates at 2,000 for a month, or from 2,000 it goes down to 1,900, consolidates there for a month, 3 weeks, 2 weeks, whatever. We just need, in general, I think at least, a pull down here on gold. We probably might. We honestly, I don't want to say we probably won't get it, but we might not get it if the dollar keeps getting weakened. I mean, we're seeing the dollar lose value against other currencies, right? And as the dollar loses value, I mean, it pushes up the price of gold. That's just kind of how it works. And that's kind of, what we're seeing here. So let me know your thoughts there down below in the comments. And to quickly touch on the stimulus, the Democrat leaders at the White House, they actually held a round of productive meetings on Saturday, but reported that they remain far apart on an agreement. And this is where the markets come into play, right? Because if they're closer on an agreement, the agreement is favorable, to the citizens, and the market likes it, that could shoot up the market. But if they're far on an agreement and they're disagreeing, they keep pushing back the dates, the market could go down. So note that. And they reported again that they've remained far apart on this agreement. And Pelosi and Mnuchin, along with Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer and White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows, said they expect to meet on Monday, which I said earlier in this video. Watch for that, to resume discussions. So keep an eye on that. Again, it's going to affect the markets one way or the other, and we all know there is going to be stimulus. The question is, how much stimulus is there going to be? That's the real question. How much stimulus is there going to be? So let me know, guys, down below all your thoughts on whatever I just said in the beginning portion of this video. Now let's take a look here at this screenshot. These are the earnings for this upcoming week. It's not the big names. I mean, we're all past those really big FANG names plus Microsoft, but we still have some big, interesting companies coming up. Tomorrow we have Clorox, we have Chegg, we have Virgin Galactic, we have a bunch of other ones here. We have, what is this? Cirrus Logic, right? On Tuesday, we have BP, Beyond Meat, Activision, Disney, guys. A lot of big names here. Wednesday, we have Moderna, Square, Roku, CVS, Etsy, that's another big one. Etsy's very, very big. We have Mercado Libre, which is actually a stock held in the ETFs of Ark Invest ETFs. And if you guys actually want to see a video on Ark Invest ETFs, and I go deep into these ETFs, 20-minute long video, check it out down below in the description. I actually made that video on Saturday. Go check it out. I highly recommend it. And also on Thursday, we have Wix.com, we have Uber, we have T-Mobile, and then on Friday, we have a bunch of companies here: Meridian, Canadian Solar, International Seaways, Noble Energy, and so forth, guys. So that's what's on the schedule for this week, and this is from Earnings Whispers, guys. I am not sponsored by them whatsoever. I'm just giving a shout out here. Go on their Instagram, follow them, and this is where you get these awesome screenshots. If you're a visual person like me, I'm very visual. This will help you a lot. And there's more earnings than just this, guys. There's a lot more than just this, but these are the main ones here. So that is it. When it comes down to earnings, we're going to break some individual stocks down in particular in about 5 minutes here when it comes to earnings, but I want to get deeper into Microsoft and TikTok here. This has been the talk of the town, guys. We have President Donald Trump on one hand. He wants to ban TikTok. And on the other hand, people are saying, no, let an American company buy TikTok out, whatever. And we'll get into that right now. So we can see here, Fox Business, let this thing reload. Microsoft TikTok officials, this was published about an hour ago, so it's a pretty recent article. TikTok officials in White House talk to prevent total ban. Like I said, they want to have some middle ground here. As Microsoft considers a buyout of social media app TikTok, officials from the big tech company as well as executives representing TikTok have been in discussions with the White House to prevent the Trump administration from issuing a complete ban of the app. And this is because, and we've been getting this a lot recently, we've been hearing this, those discussions come as President Trump is poised to issue an order that could ban the app from being used in the United States over security concerns or allow a U.S.-based, he was looking to ban a U.S.-based company to buying them out too, and pending a security review because this app, right, it's considered, a lot of people are considering it the Chinese spying on the U.S., right? That's kind of the basis of why Trump wants to just ban it completely. And the Trump administration, you can see it here, it's launching an investigation into the short video company amid fears that the Beijing-based parent ByteDance shares customer information with the CCP, also known as the Communist Chinese government or the Communist Chinese Party there. So that is, again, why he wants to ban it. And Microsoft has not made a final decision, guys. Note this. They have not made a final decision quite yet. This is still in the works, if it even is going to happen. But if it gets a green light from the White House, it can still walk away and get this deal, which would be incredible. And take a look here, and this is what I was saying back in the beginning of the video, comparing it to Facebook when they bought Instagram back in 2012. TikTok has 80 million U.S. users. 80 million U.S. users. So keep that number in your head. We're going to take a look here at Instagram. This was actually an article from back in 2012. I dug this article up here. Instagram, take a look here at this highlighted portion of this article. With Instagram, Facebook will get a formidable mobile player, an area that is seen as a weakness, blah, 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 blah. And you look down here, it says, this app has been downloaded with about 30 million users. So Instagram was bought out with 30 million users. TikTok has 80 million users. And we all know more users, it's more valuable, right? Because you can do ads to more people, market to more people, have more people on your platform in general. So the thing is here, is the TikTok deal going to be more valuable? I mean, in today's dollars, 1 billion, what would it be in today's dollars? Like 3 billion? We'll see. But it's obviously going to be more than a $3 billion buyout if it happens. The question is, how much money is Microsoft going to pay for TikTok? That's the big question, and I'm interested because, again, they had 80 million users. Facebook had, bought Instagram with 30 million users, so that means TikTok's could be more valuable than Instagram when it was bought out. And if we take a look here at the most used social media platforms based on Statista, Facebook's number one, YouTube second, WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, whatever, but we have TikTok here at 800 million users, right? 800 million worldwide users, and we have Instagram right around here at 1 billion. Just letting you guys know, that just shows how valuable TikTok is. when it comes down to the global scale. So in general, at this point, is it going to be a $20 billion buyout, $10 billion buyout? And I think in general, when it comes down to Microsoft stock, now that we looked at some numbers here and had some fun with that, Microsoft, I think, could go up on this news here. And, we're seeing it pop. I mean, I don't know if it's priced in quite yet. We'll see tomorrow what happens. I mean, it could be priced in a little bit, but we saw it pop here on Friday. It was up about 0.5%, up $1, and a bigger rally after hours up to about $207 per share. So I'm looking at Microsoft at this point. I actually have a position in Microsoft at about $200. I'm looking at it as a breakout, especially if this TikTok merger, not a merger, but the acquisition actually goes down. If it occurs, this is going to be massive, massive positive news, to the scale of when Facebook bought Instagram, and who knows how big they can make TikTok, right? They can blow it up even more. It's going to be incredible, and how it evolves over time, right? So I'm watching Microsoft here at 205, 206 for the breakout. On the 4-hour chart, I mean, we're trading slightly above the 50 SMA. We found consolidation at about 200, 202. That is very good news. And that pop out of the SMA is also good news. So I'm looking for the rally tomorrow to 210. That's the next upcoming resistance here on Microsoft. And again, if we get that news, we get more clarification on whether or not Trump's going to let a deal go through, or whether he or not he's going to ban the TikTok completely. When we get clarification, that should indicate where Microsoft could go. And it's not going to go down if he bans TikTok completely, because at the end of the day, Microsoft is still an amazing company. I mean, it's not going to go down. It could sell maybe to 200, maybe to 201, 202, but it's not like the stock's going to crash if TikTok gets banned. But if they make a deal, I think it could fly up back to 210, back to $215. That's just me personally, and I'd love to know what you guys have to think about that down below in the comments. So let's break down some other stocks here. We have Tesla. Tesla's actually trading at the bottom level of its range. If we look at this 20-day, more like the 30-day chart, we'll be able to see it. And if we zoom in a bit here, you can see Tesla is trading right around 1400, 1450. That was an old resistance back from the 6th of July. And it seems like every time we've gotten to this 1450, 1420 level, stemming back from the middle of July, we've rallied back up, whether it's been to 1600, whether it's been 1800, which was the all-time high, or 1660. I mean, we've rallied up every single time, right? So are we going to do it again? It's not guaranteed, but I'm watching out for a gap up. I'm watching out to see what ends up happening here at the low 1400s. If we take 1400 out completely on the downside, go to 1350, 1300, that's not going to be that good, but that would be better, if you have a longer time frame, let's say if you want to pick up some shares, but as a short-term type of move, that's not going to be too favorable. It really depends on your trading style. I don't want to just overgeneralize that, but I think that on the other side of that, if 1400 holds, I mean, we can see a rally back up to 1600, which could be a move of around 10%. And I'm personally looking at maybe picking up some shares, and I'm maybe looking at some call options. I haven't dug too deep into Tesla calls, but I'm probably going to do some research on them tomorrow. Just jump into, I actually use Webull to trade options. And again, don't forget to claim your 2 free stocks from Webull down below in the description. All you have to do is deposit $100 and you get 2 free stocks valued up to $1,400. And yeah, I'm looking to maybe pick up some call options there on Webull on Tesla. And, I see potential in it, but we just have to see the confirmation first, and that's going to be a break at about 1450. So the next one here on the list is, like I said before, they're reporting tomorrow, Virgin Galactic. It's SPCE. Let me double check. Yep, they are reporting tomorrow, and a lot of people are panicking about the stock. I am personally not at all. I think we had a classic buy the rumor, sell the news here on Virgin Galactic, meaning people were buying up the cabin reveal. The stock got a bit too overheated. It went from 14 to 28 bucks in about 2 weeks, and we're seeing them sell that news after the cabin reveal. Some people were disappointed, and the stock's been falling ever since. But ultimately, guys, like I've been saying in this video, it's still up from $14 to $22. That's up $8 per share. It's still up, what, 50%? I mean, guys, what do you expect? Stocks to just go up nonstop? I mean, there has to be a bull down, and it's healthy at the end of the day. We're going to, and let me tell you, if we see some support at around, $20, $20.75, $19. Worst case scenario, guys, I think this thing gets to $18.50. You can see here, if it takes out $21, that is, which is another big support coming up, which has been, it was a resistance back from April into May. I'm thinking if 21 takes out, that's when we go down to $18.50. But again, that's the worst case scenario. But ultimately, if 21 holds, I'll probably add some money. If 21 breaks, I might add, even more money because it's at a lower price. It just depends on what happens tomorrow. And when it comes down to their earnings, guys, what I'm looking out for is not how much money they're making. Guys, they're not making money. Last earnings report, I think I've looked at it so much, I memorized the number. They had $238,000 in engineering services. That was their revenue for the quarter, if I'm not mistaken, right? And that is insane. They're not making money, but what you want to look out for is how much money they're burning and how much cash they have, because they're burning, if I remember correctly, again, I've looked at the balance sheet, the cash, all this stuff a lot. They've been burning like $50 to $60 million per quarter. So we have to see, did they burn $40 million this quarter? $50 million? Probably a little bit more than previous quarters, if I'm just going to take a guess, because of all that's been going on with them, with the test flights, this and that and the third. But we'll see what ends up happening, and that's what you have to look out for, guys, how much cash they have on that balance sheet, because companies that use a lot of cash, if they're just burning cash without cash on the balance sheet, they're going to go bankrupt. They're going to go out of business. So you're going to need to see if they have sufficient cash and what their cash burn is at this point. That's kind of what I'm, again, watching out for this stock. So the next one that I want to break down is Run, R-U-N, also known as Sunrun. Sunrun had an amazing run up to about $43 per share from $20 after they announced a merger with Vivint Solar, which was announced about 3 weeks ago, hence that rally up ever since that announcement. And now we're finally seeing some cooling off. Finally, guys, from about $43 down to about $36. That opened up about a 15 to 20% profit margin that we as traders can come in and profit on if it does rally back up. And they're also reporting earnings on the 10th. Is that this week? That might be on is that Friday? No, it's not, guys. That is probably, that's next Monday, actually. That's next Monday. So 8 days from now, they're going to be reporting earnings. And we're already seeing some consolidation here on Sunrun at about $36. You can see the past 3 trading days, we found support there on the 29th, on the 30th, and on the 31st. So I'm just looking to see if this thing takes off here on the 5-day, 5-minute. If we see a distinct breakout like I'm showing you guys here on my screen. If we do this, what I just did here with the arrow, I mean, this could be a potential entry on a run back up to 40s, especially heading into their earnings. And I have to do more research into what analysts are expecting for their earnings. But if they blow out earnings, out of the park, this stock could go a lot higher. So watch this one, RUN and Apple. I've been getting a lot of questions on Apple, guys, AAPL. They announced a 4-to-1 split here. And a lot of people are saying, Stas, does this mean that my shares will be more valuable or less valuable or whatever? Guys, you have the same amount of money in the stock, right? All it means is you're going to get 4 shares for the one share that you had. So if you had one share at $400, you're going to have 4 shares now at $100. So the dollar value stays the same. All that changes is how many shares you have. And here comes another a kicker. Honestly, this is interesting here. This price will be lower now. So psychologically, people might get in thinking that it's cheaper, but the truth is the valuation is still the same as well. The valuation doesn't drop if the stock price drops, especially after a split, right? It doesn't drop. But psychologically, with a lower price at $100, $110, whatever it's going to be, we could be going higher. So me personally, guys, am I jumping into Apple right now? No. I mean, if we see a big pull down, into the 380s, 370s, heading into the split, yeah, I'll probably pick up some shares because ultimately I think that the truth is, I think it's going to go up in price after the reverse, the split, whatever you want to call, whatever it's called. Because again, the psychological factors are going to come in. It could push the price up if more, retail traders come in. But then you're going to argue and say, Stas, well, there's fractional shares out there, and that's a good point. But I still think it's going to go up. And I'd love to know what you guys have to think down below there in the comments section. And as always, do your own due diligence on all these stocks. Don't buy them based on my opinion. You have to do your own research, as always, and buy on your opinion and your research only. So Square is the next one. Square is in an interesting spot here. I mean, it's been consolidating, hasn't really gone much of anywhere over the past 2-3 weeks. We're in this little wedge. I mean, you guys can see it. We're making lower highs at the same time as we're making higher lows heading into earnings, and I'm thinking this is going to be going higher, guys. That's just me being honest here. I'm long on Square, and if we see any sign of a pop out of this wedge to the upside, if we get into 132, 134, whatever, that could be a breakout, right? And we're already seeing the stock up here after hours on Friday. So watch what direction it ends up picking there on Square. And Beyond Meat's another one that I like. I've been talking about it a lot here at about $125, holding that support. It's been a support over the past couple of months. It was a big resistance back in the beginning of 2020. So if we end up rallying up above 125 here, 130, I'm thinking, especially if we break out of this downtrend that I'm showing you here, and let me extend this so you can see it, and we're slowly getting there, and this 50 SMA on this 4-hour chart, if we break that as well, that is where we're going to start getting up to the 130s, high 130s, 140. So I'm just waiting for this technical break, but ultimately I'm long on BYND, and they're reporting earnings on Tuesday. So watch out for this company here. Another one is JP Morgan. Banks, I'm not too excited about them here as a trade. Maybe as a longer-term investment, I'd consider them. But as a trade here, it's not breaking $99, which it needs to break in order to fully break out. I mean, this thing's been struggling here ever since the crisis started. I mean, back in the middle of March, this was about a month after everything kicked off, this was trading at the same price it's at now. So for me, in terms of getting into a longer-term swing or a short-term swing into JP Morgan, I'm going to need to see a break out of $100 and honestly 105 as well, because it struggled at 105 back in the middle of March, back in the middle of April, back in the end of May. So that's a big struggle point. So 105 needs to break, and then from there, that's where I think we can end up taking off here on JP Morgan. Another one is Moderna, mRNA. They're reporting earnings, I believe, on Monday, actually no, Wednesday here, and they've taken a bit of a beating. I mean, from $100 down to about 74. This could be an interesting dip buy, quite honestly, guys. I mean, we've held this 180 SMA in the recent history on the 6-month chart. We've held it for the past 6 months, and we're approaching it again. That's the 180 SMA. That's the gold line here on the 4-hour chart. If we hold it at 70, 71, 72, that could be a nice dip buy, and especially if they get good earnings, this could be going back up to the 80s, no problem. That could be a pretty sweet trade there. And two more, Alibaba. They're reporting earnings on the 15th, I believe. Actually, no, on the 13th. And very similar to Square. It's actually, let me see, is it reversed to Square? Let me just double check that. No, Actually, yeah, it's very similar to Square the Pattern. But yeah, we're making higher lows at the same time we're making lower highs, and we just need to see what direction we pick out of this little wedge, right? If we take out 250, 260, and if Baba has good earnings, I mean, the question is here, are they going to report Amazon-type beats? Are they going to report, beats that we've seen from some of these big tech names here in the U.S.? I mean, that's big, guys, because if they do, that is where I see it taking out 270. And obviously, there's a lot of speculation there, which is why I don't like holding through earnings when it comes to my trading account. I like getting in after earnings and after the stock cools off a bit. That's just me, but yeah, I'm just saying that here. I'm a bit more conservative. That's why I like to do that. If you're more of a gambler, if you have that gambler mentality, go ahead. You can pick up some Baba here at 255 on the break heading into earnings and then hope for the best. And then if the stock goes to 280, you made a nice profit. But if it goes down 230, you lost some money there. But that's what it comes down to, guys, here if you're gambling on earnings. And Etsy is ETSY, another big one here I'm watching. They're going to benefit a lot, I believe. Obviously, they've been benefiting a lot from what's been going on here. And the earnings should reflect that, which is what I'm kind of watching here. And this stock's gone from $30, guys. This is unbelievable. $30, a double bottom back in March, all the way up to 120. I wish I had a time machine. I'd go back. I wish I had a DeLorean, Back to the Future, 1985. I wish I went back to beginning of 2020 here and ended up buying Etsy, guys. That would have been fantastic. I would have put my entire account in Etsy call options. I would have made a killing. But obviously, hindsight's 2020. We're just joking around here, guys. We can't go back in time. But at this point, I'm watching to see, do we get back down to 108, 110, 120 even on the breakout? That could be where I end up picking up some Etsy. So overall, that's it for this video, and I feel a sneeze coming. I'm trying to stop in here. But yeah, if you guys found value in it, hit that like button for me. Let's try to get this video to 500 likes. I doubt we get that. It's a bit lofty, but if you guys found value, hit that like button. And also, don't forget to claim your 2 free stocks from Webull, valued up to $1,400, and join our Discord chat and Facebook group. Those are also free. Everything is linked right down below in the description box. So I'll catch you all in the next video. Stay safe out there. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Peace out.